and but in those days it was Legon that was, yes, and then in Nigeria was Nsukka. Ahmad Bello University, yes, and then Ile-Ife, yes. Ghana, then you have Achimota College, that was Ghana, and then yes, Cape Coast, yes, Milton Magai in Sierra Leone, and Kumasi, yeah, yes. If these countries have not been benevolent to the Gambia, we would have had problems up to 1994. Thank you to these three countries that have really helped the Gambia's education system. So, I used to say that if ever God makes me president of this country, three things I would do. Because in those days, when you are at school and then you have a problem, you go to the hospital, the whole day you lose because there's only one doctor. And because we were using candles, even in Banjul here, my eyes used to be very red, and then they used to tell me, "What is wrong with you?" I say, "Well, they're itchy inside." Then they referred me to the only ophthalmologist. And you spend the whole day there. Then when you go the following day, they will say, "Yeah, we understand that you cannot just go and see the..." Despite I had a paper, I had to wait and wait and wait. And so I made a pledge to myself that if ever I become a president of this country, two things I would do. Three things. One, I'll make sure that nobody from the provinces would have the need to come to the urban area for high school. I'll also make sure that the O-levels, A-levels, and diplomas become so common that nobody would think of, look at them as an objective, but a stepping stone to get something higher. I'll make sure that at least 3/4 of the young people go to university, so that nobody can bluff anyone. Because the most bluffy teachers, I mean no harm, but the ones that come fresh from university, and especially when they come from UK, Edinburgh, they are very difficult to the students. They are very unapproachable. Whatever you do is just below standard. But you see, they are hot for a very short period of time to impress you, and then they start losing courage. When they start having problems getting their salaries, they start to show their characters. But I must also pay tribute to one person who is here. He was an icon in terms of managing schools. You see, no education system would succeed without discipline. Well, I will not name him, but when you look at the faces of Gambians, they will be looking at the person. I wouldn't say him or her. And so they used to give him the school that has the most problematic students in terms of discipline. He will transform it to a first-class school, and then they will transfer him to another. Unfortunately, they didn't reward him for what he did. But when we came, he said, this is one person that we must give our support. We have not rewarded him enough, but he knows that we have rewarded him with something better than anything, and that is we respect and recognize his great contribution to education. Unfortunately also, with my effort in the education system, everybody blames me for the indiscipline of the students. What have I done wrong? I have not done anything wrong, but provided the schools. But it's not the teacher that is responsible for discipline of the children. The teacher is always responsible when in the class, but when they leave home, well, they come from homes and they go back to homes. Now they say, oh, the president has given the children so many facilities. It's not me. They came up, they attended some meeting somewhere, and said that it is no longer acceptable for any punishment in school, especially corporal punishment. Now, they came and they signed it before coming. Who am I to say, no, 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 this is Africa, we have to train them the African way? I said, well, if that is what you want, organize workshops. They organized stakeholder workshops where the parents were there, and they just clap for it. I said, oh, good, you will regret this. Because I know when we used to walk 5 kilometers to go to primary school, primary 5, 6, especially in December when you have the Hamatan and you are all white, we go straight, we wake up very early, and we used to have groundnut oil that we put in our bags, go to the school garden, wash our feet, then put up this padam jehen, fullers know what padam jehen is, and then we put on nyamba elastic, that is plastic shoes. Then we put this groundnut oil and come. Even if your fingernail had just one black dot, they will lay you in the presence of the class. Discipline, you cannot speak vernacular. Today it has become a problem because you'll see a university graduate who cannot even write a simple statement. In those days, primary 5, you are supposed to speak English to the point that somebody will be wondering. But the quality of primary 6 English today is even not with the PhD holders. That's the sad thing about education and discipline in the Gambia. You dare not say obscene language in the presence of a teacher, you're going home. Up to primary 6, when we see a teacher in the village, we run and hide. The teacher has to ask, is in here where Yajame is? He said, yes. Where is he? I'm studying, pretending I was playing football. Today, teachers avoid meeting students in town because of indiscipline. And I think this is something that the council should look at. If our children lose discipline in school, and if we follow the freedoms that others are talking about, definitely we will have a problem. And this is why we still have problems even at the leadership level. Now, if you want to follow those people, there are three fundamental principles you have to take into consideration and see whether it is wise to follow them. Here we are, the air conditioner is on. You go there now, the heater is on. You want to live here in this hot temperature, like the way they live in the cold temperature, it's not going to happen. So if you want to accept their discipline as human rights in Africa, there is a problem. Now, to the extent that even if your son, when I was in primary 2, I started going to the farm. How do you start going to the farm? You start taking water to the farm, or they teach you how to drive the draft animals, to plow, or pick up things here and there. It was fun for us, but it was obligatory. Today they will call it child labor. We used to train our children at a very early age. A little girl at the age of 9 starts cooking. Today you do that, they say it's child labor. I think there's a difference between exploiting children and really teaching children to become responsible adults tomorrow. And so, I'm not saying we shouldn't take anything from them, but let us look at things that are inimical to our culture. We get rid of that, and things that are good for, that are in tandem with our cultural values and virtues, we should really inculcate that. Discipline is eroding, and teachers now, even around the school, teachers hide away from this. They don't want students to see them because they call them all sorts of names. So I think discipline must be emphasized and enforced in all schools. And this is where the council can really help us.